played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
All right, welcome back to the show. I'm your host. I said the host with the ghost with the most, the host with the most toast to boast. All right, guys. Hope everybody is doing well. Just kind of hanging out here on this beautiful Sunday. It is June the 13th, Sunday the 13th. Just wanted to hang out with you guys and talk a little bit. Been doing these videos once again where I kind of hop into this uh, virtual world, if you will, and just, kind of have like almost like a talk show podcast, kind of just sitting around, hanging out, talking with you guys about different things, and um, just giving you a chance to kind of listen to me talk without really playing games, but giving you something, I guess, more to look at than just my face. Um, and just giving you a chance to kind of catch up on my everyday life. If you're a follower of my channel, you kind of know how my videos break down, where I'll give you some Fortnite or some different video games I might be playing, a lot of retro type of stuff, and then I like to do the Monday motivationals, if you will, from time to time, which I haven't done one in a while. I need to jump back into those. My hair's gotten long. I think everybody would be like, whoa. Um, and then I used to do these all the time, and I got away from them. I explained it in another video where I think what had happened was I downloaded the new version of GTA for the PS5, and for some reason, I wasn't thinking about the fact that I do these videos. I was just more preoccupied with um, coming up, I think, with a new character for when I started doing like missions and things like that. And I thought it would be fun to create a female character only because most of the video games that I play are through the eyes of a male protagonist. And I was like, whoa, why not do a female? It seems like that's where like a lot of TV shows and movies are heading. The last run of Star Wars, a lot of their shows have had a lot of strong female leads. A lot of their Marvel shows have kind of taken that idea of like, all right, well, we have an Iron Man. How about an Iron Woman? Um, we have Luke. What if we had two female twins? And just a lot of cool different ideas of kind of taking these Marvel stories and telling them through the. I think it was my favorite shows was actually like Miss Marvel. I love that show a lot, and it was because I think for that very reason that you have like Spider-Man and Transformers and so many of these like cool Harry Potter um, like coming of age stories that are told through the scope of these like really cool science fiction or fantasy films, and it's just like, I mean, if you like just really break it down, Spider-Man is nothing more than like just a young boy's like kind of coming of age story as he's like making his way through high school and trying to figure out who he is and all of that. But they've just added the fact that he has, superpowers to that. And there's so many of those throughout my childhood and growing up, but you don't really see those typically, you know, growing up, the girl movies were like the babysitter movies, and um, I don't know, like this, I don't remember, or, like I just feel like there's always more male um, leads and roles and like stories and all these things. So to see the female story through Miss Marvel, it was really cool. I really liked that. It was like the female coming of age story, that high school tale with superpowers, and that was just a really cool. I'm kind of got off on like a little bit of a tangent, but that's fun. That's what this is for. This is why I'm able to do these things, and this is kind of what this space is all about. To kind of hang out here and just kind of ramble and talk about various things. But the point to circle back to was I thought, why not create like a cool female character that's going to be like this great, you know, at some point head gangster with her empire and her nightclub and her thugs, and it would kind of be like Harley Quinn, or you know what I think it was really. I think actually now that I think about it, I believe it was the fact that I was watching a lot of the CW shows, and I was making my way through. I think I made my way through Arrow. I'd made my way through The Flash, and I had made my way through most of Batwoman, but I don't think I had finished out that series. So if I'm not mistaken, I think I was like making my way, going back and rereading it, and or rereading it, rewatching it, um, and was thinking about the character, the sister Alice, and like how her character was like this cool, weird, twisty kind of character. And I was like, I think that's honestly, I think that's what I was going for. I think that's exactly what I was trying to do. I think I was trying to come up with a cool, like, um, Harley Quinn looking character that would be like running the streets of GTA, and it just never really panned out that way, you know. So I think I had kind of abandoned this version, and I think really too the only reason that I even downloaded the 5 version for the um the PlayStation was because they announced like they had like animals and things like that, and I was like, that's cool, but like I loved exploring the sea life with sharks and whales and all of these things, and it seemed like the land had lots of wildlife, like wolves and like what was it, like mountain lions would chase you down, and there was like dogs running around and rabbits, and just like there was all kinds of things. I feel like constantly running around, and it was cool. But I mean, just I don't know, it wasn't really worth it, and I wanted more of a wildlife experience in the sea, and not so much like on the in the sea, man, with Ariel under the sea. You give them an inch, they swim all the way. But anyway, enough about that. But that's kind of why we got away from the the videos here in this, like I said, this GTA virtual world. But I missed it. I missed all my cars too, and all the cool stuff that I have in here, all the cool clothes and outfits and stuff that I worked so long. It was actually like, why did I not, you know, why did I not just keep this? I probably should just like tried it out, seen what it was all about before I like went. And I tried, and it's also different too. Like the layout, I feel is like way different. Where I couldn't really find like this world is just me. You know what I mean? Like, and this is something that I like too because I feel like this is almost, you know, the closest to the Matrix that you can really get. Where, well, I guess no, that's a lie. I guess it'd be more like the actual online version. This would be something else. I don't know what this would be like. But this is where it's just like you're in control. Like this is your, you know, your matrix basically. And you can kind of do whatever you want. Um, with the 5 version, I just kept getting thrown into games where it was just like there's people everywhere, and like I couldn't find just like a individual session. And sometimes that's nice just to explore and try things out. And it's so frustrating when you're trying to perform a stunt, or you're even just trying to do something simple like, I don't know, gosh, just I don't know, anything, and just like explore the ocean. Like they've got all these cool animals, and so you want to grab your submarine and go explore the ocean. Um, but some butthole in a fighter jet keeps trying to blow you up, and it's a headache. So I don't know. I'm sure there is a way to do it, but it's just been super confusing, and I don't know. I think it would have been cool if when I switched over to the PS5 version, all of my 4 data transferred with it. That would have made me happy. Then at least I'd have like a fighting chance too, because then it's like you're thrown into a whole. I'm completely getting off topic as to why I even hopped on here to talk to you guys, but that's cool. We might do 2 parts of this simply just because it's going all off the rails. We're just talking about all kinds of things here. But yeah, I feel like all the data for the 4, like anything, because I did the same thing with Spider-Man. Like I did all of this unlocking of the suits, unlocking of the this and the that, and so then I go ahead and it's like upgrade. It's like playing the 4 version the other day. It's like upgrade to 5, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. It's like $5 or something, maybe $10. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. But I never paid for it. The game was a gift. My thing is like, oh wow, man, $10, and I can like get the upgraded 5 version. Like, yeah, let's do it. And so then I do it only to have all the data gone. It's crazy. So then you have to kind of like start from scratch, build it back up. But it's kind of fun to go back and run through that and play that again. Honestly, like when I first played through that, I was still drinking, and there are um, there's a lot of times where I'm like watching movies or exploring games or something, and it's something that I've played or done, a few years ago, back when I was still, excuse me, back when I was still drinking, and it's interesting. It's almost like I could watch a movie that I know I've seen before, but as I'm watching it now, through a more sober lens, it's like wow, it's like wow, I don't think I've, it's like this, I feel like this is the first time I've watched it. And I've had that experience a few times with some of the games in my library as well, where it's like, um, I remember playing them, but now it's a little different. Going back and playing them. Um, sorry, that's a whole other topic too. But that's kind of a good maybe segue into the whole main point of all of this was just to kind of let you guys know what has been going on. And it's crazy. Since I did stop drinking, it has been a crazy, crazy journey for me. I don't know, what happened, what clicked, or why it took for what it took to make happen what happened, if that makes any sense. But I know a lot of people like struggle with alcoholism, and it's really hard. And I did for like a long time too. I mean, I feel like throughout my whole, you know, gosh, 20 years of drinking off and on, that I struggled with it at times. And I think it's the same with everybody. If you first kind of start off, it's not a big deal. It's just kind of like whatever. It's more of a social thing. But definitely, as I started like getting older and working more, it just became more of a habit of like, okay, this is just what you do. You get home from work, you grab a few beers. If you're at a barbecue, you're just supposed to drink, and it just became more of something that. Hold on, I'm gonna grab some coffee real quick. But yeah, so it just seemed like it was something like you're just supposed to do, and then I don't know. At some point, it just became something that I lost control of and had issues with, and was hiding and all of that. So there was probably shorter period, like in my 20 years of drinking, probably like more like towards the end of that 10 years, the struggle, and like definitely like that last five, like really wanting to try to let go, but like really having a hard time. And I know some people like struggle with it, their whole life. And I don't know what clicked or what turned for me specifically because for some people, it's definitely like the separation, moving back home was one of those pieces. But I think for some people, that would just be an excuse to dive deeper into substance abuse. Like that's like that, like, oh, well, screw it. That whole, like, well, what's the point? Um, and so, like, I don't know why, and with like zero, like no counseling or like medication or group sessions or anything, like it was just all right, I need to get my head together so I can make the right decisions to kind of like figure out my next move because I haven't been doing that. It's like um I just felt like in the past I was using it as a reason not to address what was going on, most definitely with like probably my relationship at the time, just everything, like my life, like everything that was going on, and using it, excuse me, using it as a way to cope. I don't know what's going on this morning. I can't get a clear throat here. Um, but definitely using it as a way to cope, and it just got like way, way, way out of control. It's like I said, I don't know like why it was just that moment where I was just like, all right, I need to do something different. I need to change this. Like it's almost like I've done the same thing for the last 10, 20, 5 years, whatever, and it's been a struggle. Like, let me try to do something different, even if it's just for a little while. And that, I think, was what um, made me say, like, okay, let's just, I don't know. It was just like, it was weird. It was like, it was just like that idea was like, let me say, like, okay, let's just try it this way. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Like, like I said, you've lived your life this way for so long and you've done okay. Let's actually try to make some right decisions. And then like just the no drinking came in hand with that. So that way I was making clear-headed decisions because it was about like moving back home and like, trying to figure out how I'm getting my stuff back there and getting my car in order so that way I can make it back home and just um, all these little different pieces. And so I just remember thinking that was just the best way. Like I need my like I don't know, I hate to say it, but like almost like the end of Braveheart where he like refuses the little potion or whatever. He's like, I need my wits about me, kind of a thing. Um, Kind of like that whole mentality. Finally, like I just finally got it. Like it just finally clicked. But it was the best thing ever. And I slipped. I mean, like there was definitely some moments where like I slipped here and there. I'm not going to say like I just made the decision and it was just like the easiest thing ever. But really, once I hit a certain point and I started, especially when I started working with kids, and I was just like realizing how important it was that I be there for them in their life. Um, it was like a no-brainer. I think at some point when I stopped drinking, it was going to be like, hey, I'll get it together, I'll figure it out, and then I'll maybe revisit it. Like I'll get it under control, and then maybe during the holidays or something like that, I can enjoy it without letting it, you know, um, consume my schedule or whatever. Um, but once I got to a certain point, I was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I don't want to. I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I'm really lucky because I think for a lot of people it's not that easy. Um, but it's that ultimate decision that kind of like got me to where I'm at now, and like kind of like to the point where like this is the stuff that I want to talk about, and this is the kind of stuff that I want to unbox here, and like really the whole reason I hopped on. But work and everything has just been going really well, but it's been really, I don't know, nice. Just this past week at work, and I really wanted to kind of like talk about it and get into some of it because the support and love that I get from the people that I work with and who come into our facility and that I get to see every day, it's like it is absolutely just like awe-inspiring. I don't even know how to put it into words. Um, they're just so great, and I don't know. I feel like I, before when I went in to work, I would go into work and I would just be like super excited because like I get to do work with kids. And I could do like some cool teen stuff, and maybe it's like a Lego night's coming up, or um, I don't know, just like a cool fun like meeting or something. It's just like we just have a good time, and I just enjoy it. And there's just like something about working with young people, and I would come into work, and people are like on a Monday morning, just excited, and people just be like, why are like everybody like we all enjoy our job, but almost like, dude, why are you like calm down, like you're a little too excited on a Monday morning, and I'm just like, but dude, tonight we got so and so, like everybody should be excited. This Friday I got my Lego thing. It's 4 more days to do my Lego, so I would just be genuinely excited just for like what was going on and what I was getting a chance to do. And it hasn't really changed. Like all of that, it's still the same. Like there's just like a really cool piece to like what I'm doing now. And like I said, I finally got my new position, my new role. I'm still a director. I'm still a program director. Um, but it's just been really nice. The main thing I want to stress is that um, going into some of this, there was a lot of uncertainty about like even what I would be doing. And I think some people, even now when I tell them like what my title is, it's still like, well, what are you doing? It's a little confusing. But the title, the title just adds more questions. Um, but I hear footsteps again. Oh, you know, I was doing this same thing a few weeks ago, and I swore I kept hearing somebody like walking around the apartment. And I was like, what is going on? Like I'm sitting down and you can hear footsteps. And I'm like, what is happening here? And I see now that it's not, he's sitting down, but through this camera angle, he's like shifting a little bit here and there, but then he'll lift up his feet there. That he's doing like little nervous, like little knee jumps. And it sounds like somebody's walking around my apartment. That's freaking hilarious. I don't think I noticed it. It's like my virtual dude is. It's like watch. I'm gonna scare him while I'm sitting here. He's like thinking somebody's in the apartment with us. Hilarious. I love it. Um, but yeah, no, it's just been a really good week. And like I said, the main point is when I first came into this with all this uncertainty, I wasn't really sure if what I was being told by my superiors was always going to be the truth. And it's just not that they're a deceitful bunch, but it's just that I've been around long enough to know that things don't always go according to plan. You know, things get laid out, things get promised, things get, oh, you can get this, or you'll have this, and blah blah blah. And then as you step into it or you get closer to those things, like I said, I wasn't sure, like, will I have a new position, but will this new position be full time? Um, will I still be a director? That was a main piece too. Like, I loved having that director title. Um, there were just a lot of questions. Will I be like maybe some part time here and some part time there to get my 40 hours? Like just wasn't really sure. And I was told certain things, though. I was promised certain things, and said that there are pieces that I bring to the table that are valuable. And hearing those things again, it's like, okay, are they being honest? Are they being completely upfront with me? Or is it something where oh, my alarm is going off? They're just telling me this because they want me to hang out. They want me to stick around because they need a body here. They can't afford to lose a full-time employee during all this. And it's like I do a lot. I wear a lot of different hats. So it's like, are they just trying to, keep me satisfied so I can keep picking up our pastry and breakfast sandwiches every Thursday, or like what is the main goal of what they're telling me here? But the whole I guess the point of what I'm getting to is that they were completely upfront. They were completely honest with me, and all of the things they were telling me were completely true. And to me, that means more. That means more than any kind of like promotion or any kind of like just I mean, I'm a guy who appreciates a good pat on the back, but the value of being told something by your superiors and having them deliver it to you 100% is absolutely like it's I don't know. It's just something that people, I think, take for granted, and I don't. I appreciate it so much. You know, it's one of those things where when I first stepped into this role, my supervisor really saw through and made sure I had all the pieces that I needed, and that's the stuff that's important to me. Like especially coming from my last job where I was promised and I was told one thing, and then as soon as the shit, as Data would say, hits the fan, they're gonna bail on you. I hate to bail on you guys now, but my alarm went off. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna come right back to a part two because we got kind of crazy. We were just talking about all kind of stuff, but I really liked it, and that's kind of like I said, the whole point of a lot of this. I might even switch spots on the couch. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out here in this episode of Rob's Arcade, just kind of hanging out, catching up. I said, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Or maybe just run to the bathroom real fast. Maybe grab something to eat. I'm going to grab a little bit more coffee, and then we will pick this right back up. Go ahead, leave me a comment. Let me know what you've been up to. Share, subscribe, all that jazz. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you take care of each other. Make sure you take care of yourself. Hang tight. I'll be back in just a moment, guys. Don't spend that quarter anywhere else until I get back or something like that. Peace.